Perhaps we could take a look together at two, what you might call distinctions, or two possibilities, two ways of being, I guess you could say. One is truth and one is lie. You could say, as a distinction, which is really a universal truth, that truth has energy as its means of delivery. Lie has power as its means of delivery, which means that truth cannot force, it can't shoot you, it can't hold your head down, it can't make you do. All it can do is point. All it can do is point, if you will, to an action that has no violence included. Lie, on the other hand, can force, it can be mean, it can argue, it can fight, it buy guns, it goes to war, it has all of the means by which to force you into whatever it is that needs to be done from the standpoint of lie. In order to cover a lie, obviously, you have to tell another lie and another lie and another lie. In the old biblical terms, you could say that if you speak the truth, you're in heaven, and if you lie, you're in hell. There's a very part of that that's really true, even though there's no heaven or hell. When you lie, you then live in a dream world, or to use today's terms in America, you live in alternate truth, the Donald Trump alternate truth. Here's something you see directly. You see this hand, but it's not really a hand. It's something else, not a hand. So you are forced, if you will, if you are of that ilk, to take what it is that you're forced to accept, rather than what it is that you see with your own eyes. And we've really reached that point now. We have moved so far, so extremely far away from truth, that in essence, if you tell the truth, then the probability is you'll be extracized. What's that word? Put off to the side, yelled at, laughed at, made fun of, mocked. Because today's world is a world of excuses. It's a world of justifications. It's a world of explanations. And if all that works, they just make it reasonable. So the truth about truth is it has its own energy. It has the energy of life. The truth about a lie is it has its own power. It has the power of existence, of our past, of always being dead. Because lie is born in and of knowledge and thought and belief, which is all dead. All of those things are dead. They are of our past. Not to say that occasionally knowledge isn't needed. It is needed, obviously, and thought is needed, obviously. Never is a lie ever needed. Belief ever needed, because it's always a lie. Knowledge is needed as a place to store how many inches are in a foot, and how many ounces are in a gallon, and how far is it from New York to San Francisco, or whatever those things are, what kind of mileage. All of those things are necessary. What's not necessary is to be stuck in them. But that's getting a little bit away from this consideration. So here's my premise. Here's my promise. Here's my statement. Here's what I'd like for you to consider. Firstly, you need to consider that you don't really know what truth is. Because in essence, all of us have been forced to live a lie. We're told as children, if you can't say something nice, don't say anything. That's a lie by omission. Maybe the worst lies that we have are the lies by omission. The ones where if you say something, say you're married, and you know if she says, does this dress make me look fat? You know if you say yes or no, you're going to be in trouble. I mean, if you say yes, you're going to be in trouble. And certainly you can't say no, the dress doesn't have anything to do with it, it's you that's fat. Because then you're telling her the truth and you're in a bunch of trouble. So it's lies by omission that are probably the biggest problem we have. Would you rather live next door to a racist fellow who says, I can't stand black people, if you were a black person right next and tells you that? Or would you want to live one that says, hey buddy, how are you? It's a nice day, and smile at you, and then he goes in the house and says, that goddamn nigger. So which one would you rather, neither one perhaps. But my point is here, if you will experiment in your life, if you will discover the energy of truth creates the energy of truth. In other words, it opens the space for you in the future to continue speaking the truth. And you will move in the space of truth. Heaven, if you buy into the God stuff. And if you lie, that invents the power of the dream world. The dream world is there. It's actually real. It's a dream. There's kind of a confusion there. It's a real world, but it's a real dream world. You can see the evidence of it in, you go to church and they're all singing hoopy hoopy, lovey dovey, peace on earth, goodwill to men, please God, bring a peace. And then they go home and buy a couple more guns and get some more bullets. And as I've been told by many a Christian, many mostly evangelical Christians, but many Christians, they keep a gun in case somebody tries to steal their stuff. And then they put a bullet right between that person's eyes. And then they smile like God defends those who defend themselves. When in actuality, if there's a God, self-defense wouldn't be anything that God would. Anyway, that's a whole nother. So my invitation is this. Firstly, discover that you do not tell the truth, that you're a liar. Secondly, discover that you live in a complete world of liars. Or you could reverse it and just find out you live in a complete world of liars and then discover that you indeed are a liar in that. Now look, if you need some proof, then you need to look at lies use power to remain. And we go from war to war to war. How much greater power is there than people who go to war to war? And the wars are there because the husband can't get along with the wife, and the wife can't get along with the husband. And the wife or the husband spank their children, or they tell them Santa Claus is going to give them a coal if they're bad, and they're going to give them a bike if they're good. So we lie to our children, and we force them to accept it. If we loved our children, we would create a world, a planet for our children. We don't love our children, so we prepare our children for the world. You see, backwards. The mirror image of what we need to be doing. So if you care to discover what it is that I'm speaking about here, begin speaking the truth. If you begin speaking the truth, starting with that you're a liar, that's the truth, you will discover your world will begin to work. Things will begin to fall into place. You won't have all of these nonsensical things that are happening today. Watch the January 6th insurrection and be told that wasn't an insurrection. Those people, the 6 people that are dead are not dead, or they died because of some other reason. The $7 million that it cost is nothing. It was just a regular tourist day. So you're forced, if you will, they want to force you to believe that nonsense. If you care to have your world come together, whole, be whole, or if you're a religious person, holy. Although holy has some holes in it, doesn't it? Then begin discovering for yourself what speaking the truth is. Because look, we are now thousands of years removed from truth. Truth is so many thousands of years behind us that we need to begin the ontology of what is truth. You need to realize that truth is energy. Lies are power. That's a huge distinction, because power always has to have guns, bullets, forcing, belief, the insanity of belief in order to remain. Truth is the energy of our universe. It needs nothing for it to remain. If you believe something that's true, it's true because it's true, not because you believe it. If you don't believe something that's true, it's still true no matter what your belief is. You and 7 million other people can believe there's a God. And if there isn't one, there isn't one. The belief that there isn't going to make one. Conversely, you can believe there is one or isn't. Either side of it, belief has nothing to do with it. Belief is a function of power, which is a function of lie. I wonder if you're interested in, most people aren't interested in, internal peace to be free within, or collective peace, peace on earth. Because they already know everything. They already have it all figured out. They know God's going to save them, or they know whatever it is, they know. The thing they have not discovered is that they do not know that they do not know. So the discovery that you do not know anything is your beginning, another beginning, if you will, to discover what truth is. It takes the negation of excuse, the negation of reason, the negation of logic, the negation of explanation and justification. All of those are a movement away from truth. So I wonder, how many of you will begin the journey of discovering for yourself the energy of truth, thereby leaving the power of lie? Consider this. Lie always needs a gun. Lie always needs another lie. Lie is the dream world. Truth needs none of those. Truth only needs the truth because it's its own energy. Lie is the energy of a dream world, of belief. Thank you for listening this far, if indeed you've been listening this far to this wacky, crazy guy. Hello, Alfred. I didn't see you there. My eyeballs aren't what they used to be. Well, that's not true. I've had 2,200 vision since the day I was born. I've been legally blind since the day I was born, so can't say my eyes are going bad. They're just the way they've always been. All right, you guys. Thank you for being here, Alfred. I wonder if anybody else is there. Nope. See you guys later. Perhaps consider creating for yourself the ability to see and be and use the truth rather than belief, which is lie. See ya.